The game begins with a private investigator who is assigned the case of finding a missing scientist. The investigator leaves the police station, gets into his car, and heads to the scientist's last known location. Upon arriving, he meets the assistant scientist, who tells him that the supposed genius scientist wasn't as great as people claimed. He was actually a rude person. The assistant also mentions that one day, an alarm went off due to a machinery explosion, and he managed to escape, but he doesn't know what happened to the other scientists. The head scientist has been missing since that day. The assistant suggests searching the lab, but warns that something strange is going on. The investigator enters the lab, finds a lever, and unlocks a secret door, where he sees a hanging skull. He proceeds to gather roses to bring to the plant research room. While collecting the roses, he spots a massive, ladylike entity roaming around, trying to catch him. Despite the danger, he manages to gather all the roses and returns to the plant research room, placing them in their spot. Suddenly, a creepy monster skeleton appears, and explosions begin to go off. The investigator barely escapes with his life. Realizing there's no more evidence, he decides to leave immediately and heads to the underground parking garage. In the basement, there's a strange, toxic air, and a creature made in the lab confronts the investigator, telling him he won't be allowed to leave. When the investigator questions the creature, it explains that the master created it and now wants to keep him trapped inside. Soon after, mist fills the garage, and the investigator frantically searches for the key to the exit door. He eventually finds the key and escapes. Once outside, he sees the creepy skeleton collapsing and disintegrating. After escaping, the investigator finds himself in another room, facing a dangerous monster, which turns out to be the master. Outside, the investigator dodges the master's attacks and detonates flammable barrels, which deplete the master's health, causing it to burn and be destroyed. From the master's body emerges a suspicious figure. The investigator flees and heads toward the plant section. Machines and monsters created by the scientist continue to wreak havoc, having spread throughout almost the entire city. Now, the investigator is searching for the scientist in the middle of the city when he receives a call from the chief detective, instructing him to return to the station as they've received news about the scientist. The investigator rushes to the train station, boards a train, and the chief detective warns him that there are rumors about the scientist being near the subway station. Suddenly, the train catches fire, breaks into pieces, and gets stuck, trapping the investigator. After much difficulty, he manages to escape through the underground tunnel. Near the same station, he begins to explore a lab and tries to use the elevator to escape, but it's not functional. He starts collecting gears to repair the control panel. While exploring the lab and finding the gears, he spots more monsters roaming around. After collecting all the gears, he repairs the control panel and ascends the elevator. The chief detective calls him again, and the investigator updates him on the situation. The chief starts explaining how to get out, but the call gets disconnected and the elevator reaches the top floor. Unsure of where he is, the investigator walks through the floor and reaches an exit door. To open the exit door, he needs a code, which he begins searching for on the floor. While searching, a machine gun suddenly opens fire from one of the nearby rooms, but he quickly evades the bullets and escapes. He then finds a key in the storage room, which allows him to enter the high-voltage test area. Ahead, he finds subject rooms, and inside one, he finds a notebook with a code written on the wall. He returns to the exit door and quickly inputs the code into the panel. The door slides open, and at last, he escapes the lab. Outside on the road, he finds a car, but realizes it's out of gas, so he searches for a gas can, fills the tank, and drives away to safety.